What's good everyone, it's Zigzag here, welcome back to another Geoguessr video and welcome back to the road to #1 in the world. Now let's see where we left off the last episode because we were doing pretty well. We are in the top 10 in Australia, 1456, but we've got a bit to climb in order to break into the 1500s where most of the good players in Australia sit. And as we see, Hume and Lero are right at the top of the leaderboards actually. They're both top 10 or at least just under for Lero. So the Aussies are doing pretty well. We want to climb up to that stage. Let's see how we go here on no moving, panning, or zooming, my favorite game mode. I will probably return to some more no moving duels as well at some point, but in any case, our first opponent here is from Hungary. I'm a little bit rusty at the moment just because I went on a holiday to Melbourne, but you know, I'm ready to play nicely. First one here, it reminded me of South here. I thought this might be like Daegu just because of how much red brick architecture we have. I should probably click middle, but I'll try Busan or Daegu here. And it was actually Seoul, so he clicks middle. It's going to be a little bit of damage here. Obviously, yeah, my career skills. The last few videos are really showing up my career skills to be quite poor. But, you know, it's cool. It's cool. You got to have some weaknesses, right? Of which mine are many, true. Next one here, we got a blue number plate. This should be Senegal. I think I should go in quickly here just in case he doesn't know. I think Dakar is actually pretty good here. I might go tease though. Let's see. Do I think I'm right? I do think so. I think the blue number plate pretty much all but confirms it. We do have the silver car here, which you also see most of the time in Senegal. And yeah, it was actually Dakar there. Opponent gets a bit confused, goes Mexico. It was a difficult round to be fair. All of a sudden, things are looking up for us. Next one here. Thick signposts here remind me of Bolivia. Combine that with the yellow road lines, should be correct. Do we see any mountains? We appear not to. We're looking east, southeast, so yeah. Feeling pretty good that we're just in the Santa Cruz area here. I think our opponent will likely know that as well if he recognizes the signposts. Honestly, that's the biggest clue here. Apart from that, it could look a lot like Brazil. So just remember those thick wooden signposts mean that you should be somewhere in Bolivia, and our opponent goes actually in Argentina. So GG's there, nice swift one, and it just goes to show that against low-rated opponents, guessing quickly really is the play. But let's jump in here again. We're pretty much playing at prime time here. On the weekend, Europeans would be awake now, so we should get games pretty quickly, I assume. Well, that wasn't exactly the case, but we do get our next game against Figsy, who we've played actually before, who is also a YouTuber. Let's see how we can go against Figsy and see what's going to happen here. First one is in Finland. We have a hill here, so it feels a little further north, maybe a little further east here. Going north-northeast. I think I would click. I mean, we're probably just fine here. The trees are pretty thick, though. They're pretty tall and thick, so maybe it is a bit further south, although this kind of autumn coverage is pretty common up north. And okay, it was just where we guessed, so yeah, decent guess by Figsy. It definitely kind of looked like down there, but I guess the coverage is more common where I clicked, and we take a nice little bonus going into round number 2 here. We have a flat signpost, looks maybe French to me. Well, it's not actually flat, but it looks French or British with these road lines. What does it actually seem more like? I definitely thought France, although the painted curb is a bit strange. It can certainly be either country. I think I prefer France overall, but we'll see. Certainly UK is possible here. There's really not too much to say about this round. It's just a forest. It was the UK, it was France, but as you can see, the vibes for it being both are correct because he goes in the UK and ends up being right between the two countries. And does he do damage to me there? I think he actually did damage to me, right? Pretty funny. Yeah. Oh, no, I didn't. Good. I didn't want to take damage on a round where I sent the right country. Next one here is USA. We have US fences here. This kind of feels maybe like, we've got some red roads, some concrete roads. This kind of feels like Oklahoma to me. But anything in the south is quite possible. I might go like southeast Oklahoma, hedging for Arkansas, Louisiana, Texas. I think that makes quite a bit of sense. It is kind of hilly though. Or maybe let's go Fayetteville, Arkansas. No, let's go Booneville. No, let's go Charleston, Arkansas. I kind of like that. But I think it is south here. Although it could actually be north. None of the trees scream south, but the vibes of the houses are pretty southern looking to me. So I feel good about it. Maybe it is just Oklahoma. I don't know. I kind of left my original thought, but we'll see. And it ends up being Oklahoma indeed. Now, our opponent goes in Iowa, which is where there are a lot of concrete roads. And he says GG, which I've learnt now means good guess. Don't worry, guys. I'll be recording. We are nice. Okay, excellent. And the next round here is in Hungary. Oh, I always screw these ones up these days. I think this is actually Poland or Hungary. Actually, it's quite wintry, right? So yeah, this would be Hungarian then. Not a very easy Hungary, I have to say. But he makes the same guess as us here. Ends up being all the way west. And nice guess by Fixie there. So finally does some damage. We're 2,000 points ahead as we head into multis. So it's a nice bonus to be up, but when multis are in, you really know that anything can happen. This is a fairly flat Spain. We could actually be on an island here. I think it's just mainland though. And I'm gonna go a bit further south here because honestly, it kind of gives me coastal vibes, and it is coastal, but it was so flat that this area kind of made sense to me, and it also gave me south vibes, but yeah, I mean, that's just a difficult one to get right without, because we kind of had our view blocked by the highway. Anyway, next one here. Ooh, interesting poles, interesting everything here. Is that a UK-looking pole there? Kind of looks like a UK pole top here. The round doesn't really feel like UK, though, so that's kind of a concern, right? So if we're driving left, we would see the antenna. So we should be driving right here. That's fine. Maybe Poland could make sense here. Southern Poland, or maybe even northern Poland. I think Poland makes the most sense out of anything I thought of. I'm going to click middle. As you guys know, is the best tactic in Poland, being a rather square country that's hard to region guess with no real mountains apart from the south ones. But I could be quite wrong here. We could actually get knocked out. It ends up being Poland all the way east. And our opponent goes France, so double damage is going to be enough to knock him out there. GG's to Fixie, and we gain 4 points only there. So Fixie, not exactly a huge bounty to be gained off him, but now we're facing a high-rated opponent, 1.5k, and he is Austrian, and should be an interesting game. Let's see what happens here. We have Japan to start off with. Vibes are a bit further north. Yeah, this kind of foliage here definitely feels a bit further north to me. Also, the pole being painted rather dark is something I associate with a bit further north as well. Akita seems like a decent guess to me here, though I'm not really sure. I just think it's somewhere up here. And wow, actually ends up being Gunma. Yeah, okay, I mean, the foliage probably does stop maybe around Tokyo, so that stuff, but I could be wrong. Next one here. Looks like Australia to me, and it looks like it's going to be Darwin area. Shouldn't be a particularly difficult round. I'm just going to send in my guess here. It should be just somewhere up here. Huge termite hills, and very just green vegetation. Should have gone further north, to be honest. A bit silly, but we only lose 60 points, so it's really nothing. When you consider how big Australia is, Darwin area is not a place where you're going to gain too many points. Okay, next one here. Germanic kind of roof here, but it looks like France. So maybe this is like... but it also could be South France. I just think it is kind of Eastern or Southern France here. So what's the actual play here? Do we go just Lyon and hedge everything, or do we actually commit to one guess? Oh, and that sign itself a left-hand drive. Why? We actually... Yeah, that looks like a really UK sign. Okay, this is like max South UK then, because this looks like France to me. I mean, is that actually right? I think it has to be right. Like, the road line also makes sense, so it's just this really weird house here that threw me off. I'm gonna go right here, and yeah, he goes France because it looked like France, but okay, nice little pickup from us there. 800 points, not too bad, not too bad. Gaining back what we lost on the Japan round there. Next one here, we got a bit of Kenya action, I think, yeah. And this probably feels a bit further west. I don't really know. Kenya's quite difficult on NMPZ, but ultimately it is the case that you're not going to lose too many points if it's Nairobi or if it's out west, so I'm not too worried here. Kenya, I think you could definitely cook up some good metas on Kenya, because I think it is kind of it's kind of like the poles are completely unexplored, for example. Okay, that's a good amount of damage there, 400 points, and we head through to Kyrgyzstan. I guess we'll insta-guess in case he doesn't recognize it. But to me, this just kind of feels like central Kyrgyzstan, like near Naryn or something like that here. So yeah, we'll find out where he goes. I mean, I don't think we're going to be too wrong here regardless. Are those clouds or mountains? I assume mountains, but they almost look cloud-like, don't they? Good guess from our opponent there. Going to be a bit of damage. Definitely playing like a 1.5k, so we have to be careful here and see see that our guesses are going to be good. Okay. Indonesia, we have lots of tiled roofs. I believe that this would be just Java. And do we actually make out anything here to be sure of where? I don't think so. We actually have quite a few non-tiled roofs as well. So this is a bit suspicious. I could actually water hedge here. Ooh, hopefully you didn't see anything. I could actually water hedge here for Kalimantan, because I'm not too sure. Yeah, I'm just going to do that. Guess here, like a Giga Chad. Okay, it was actually in Central Java, but our guess is fine. 78 points of damage. Honestly, we deserve to lose more points, but That's the thing. Water hedging actually is pretty decent sometimes when you're not sure. Okay, next one here. What are we looking at? I thought maybe Austria, but maybe I was just thinking of looking at his flag. Anyway, it's somewhere in Europe. I think I'm going to take a cheeky peek outside of the full screen here. Doesn't really help, although we do have the flat signpost. That kind of helps. Is this northern Spain then? If it's not, it's probably on the border with France anyway, so I think I like that. Maybe French side of the border. We have one French car too. Yeah, a couple of French cars for sure here. What do I actually like better here? That's an interesting pine for France. Not too common, I feel. Let's actually look at that sign again. Yeah, it does kind of feel a bit Spanish. I mean, I'm sure about the region, or at least I'm pretty sure about the region, but I'm not sure which side of the border I actually want to guess here. All in all, I think it's a French plate. I'm gonna say we're at this side of the border. And okay, well, it's actually France. Our opponent goes Slovenia. Yeah, it's going to be a good amount of damage there, 2.3k. Not going to complain about that. Obviously, a 1.5k rated player we definitely want to win against here. And we are in where? This is an interesting one. It should be, I guess, Argentina with this plate here. But where in Argentina is kind of difficult. Look at that. We got to our northwest some pretty extreme dry mountains here. This is further south than one might expect, and we're also on a north-south grid here. Is Comodoro? I don't think this is Comodoro. Yeah, and Comodoro has a completely wrong grid, so that's good to know. I don't think it's New Ken, although we do have the right grid. We do not have a dry mountain in New Ken, I believe. So I'm thinking of maybe just like Puerto Madryn? Nah. Okay, let's actually be objective here for a second. Yeah, that hill is rather dry. Bahia Creek? I don't know. I don't think it's like that far south as Trello. I'm just gonna kind of hedge it in Rio Negro? I don't know. Okay, it was actually, oh, it was Comodoro. Oh, and it was just this little part downtown that has a north-south grid, and our opponent goes up near Buenos Aires. See, Buenos Aires definitely makes sense with everything on the screen, apart from the dry mountain on the northwest there. So we get 18 points there, guys. That's going to be pretty big here. This has been a very successful episode so far. And let's see where that places us in the world. 170th in the world right now, and in Australia, up to 8th. And we are very nearly about to pass all these people if we can keep our winning streak up. But okay, let's see if we can get to 1.5k, and we face him again. Let's give him a wave this time, and see how we go. And what are we going to be looking at here? This looks like it's going to be somewhere in Canada to me. The Generation 2 camera is very common over there, and then the wooden poles as well. Forgive me if I'm crazy, but I kind of felt like this might be the peninsula between the lakes in Manny. So I'm going to give that a go, but this realistically could be Sask or Alberta as well. So it's a bit of a risky guess. And it is Manitoba, or right on the border. What state is that actually? Territory. Oh my gosh, we are literally... one side of the road is Sask, and one side of the road is Manitoba. And yeah, province I meant, sorry. And where are we now? I think Philippines. I think I might just go for it here. It's a weird Philippines, but the architecture really looks it to me, and our opponent hasn't been necessarily that good on the quick guesses here, so we'll see if that is going to pan out to us. If it's not, it's Indonesia. But this white brick cinder block architecture, very Filipino, and actually, you know, credit to Greasy, he manages to get in with a quick guess there. And have you noticed we actually have the same avatar here? It's kind of crazy, except I'm more rocking the Zig merch and the interesting skirt. Anyway, next one here. This should be somewhere up near Cairns. I think we have to take our big advantage on Oz and just go quickly here. But yeah, the banana plants, the very tropical look. But then we have Oz bollards. I think, yeah, it's a really nice guess from us, but ultimately, because we had the bollards there, it was a pretty easy round. Now, without the bollards, I would like to see him get it, because I feel like that's kind of a difficult one. But regardless, it's good for us. Next one here. And we are in, where? Well, I had so many thoughts here. This little sign here looks German to me. I think I see these in Germany. And ultimately, the buildings do feel right for Germany, and everything does. Now, let's check copyright. I don't think we're gonna get a copyright here. Okay, it's 23. With all these kind of... I think I've seen stuff like this near Frankfurt, near Bonn, maybe Stuttgart as well. Just gonna hedge for everything around here, I think. And it ends up being over there. Nice, good guess, good guess. Our opponent is Austrian, so no surprise that he's able to get a pretty nice guess here as well, though. So, headed through to the next round. We have long dashes in the center here. We have the back of the Google car, so it should be somewhere in Europe. Gosh, I'm talking so quickly today. Long dashes. This is the UK. Okay, we're driving right, though. No. What are these pines doing? Like, it's very interesting. Could this be France. I don't hate France. Oh, he guesses quickly here. Okay, what about, Spain is still possible to me as well. What about Portugal? This is a difficult round. I'm gonna go like in the triangle in France. I don't know though. Okay, it was Portugal, yeah. Well, at least we made the same guesses there. And ultimately, we weren't going to get knocked out because the multis weren't high enough. But Portugal, I'm glad I at least thought of it. I probably, with more time, would have gone Portugal, but you really have to think those things over sometimes. And okay, this is France this time. Does it kind of feel like just Paris to me? Well, no, it's a bit more northwest with this architecture behind my webcam here. So thinking maybe like Angers or something like that here. Le Mans? I think Le Mans is a pretty good guess here. Kind of feels vaguely western, but also a bit like Paris, and also we have some hills, so I think I like this guess quite a lot. Oh no, it's a really nice guess from Greasy here. Ends up being southern there. 1.7k damage. First time he's done a significant chunk to me, as far as I recall, apart from the Japan. Next one here, we're in Kenya? Yeah, and this... Ooh, look at those mountains west there. This kind of feels a bit further southwest to me, or southeast. Just gonna go like this. I'm gonna hedge it. Oof, just ends up being east of Nairobi there. I didn't realize he would guess so quickly, so would have been better if I just chilled out, but yeah, and made a better guess. But yeah, that's the consequences of guessing quickly. We're back in Kenya here, and this feels like new stuff, but no, it's not. Do we have palm trees? Do we have palm trees? No. This again feels a bit further east to me. So where to go? I think I'm just going to make the same guess as last time. Because again, this could be like up here, but it could be down here. So I think I just go like here again. And okay, really nice guess. This time I actually figured it out. So that was good. And thank you for that. I don't know. What are you meant to say when they say GG? I'll just say wave as a thanks. But okay, we're back in Kenya. Triple Kenya. That's crazy, man. What do we have? Do we have a place name here? I guess we should look for the place name just in case it exists. Obviously this one's a exit full screen. There's no rule against it, by the way. Haria, I think is the place. But does this feel a bit further? I don't know. This feels a bit further west to me. 7 seconds to go here. Haria. I don't know. I'm just gonna go west. That's the vibe I got. We'll see. And it was nice. Where's the town name here? Kisi. Okay, didn't see that town name actually, but it's a good amount of damage there. Kenya, we had the one bad one, but against Greasy, we've had it 4 times now, and most of them have been good. Okay, this is now Nigeria. This feels kind of southwestern Nigeria to me. Doesn't feel like it's too far from Lagos. I'm gonna go for the quick and confident guess here. We'll see. Okay, ends up being Abuja, really? Not really. I mean, it looks so green. I did not think that was Abuja. But our opponent goes Lagos, because, yeah, that was the kind of the vibe. And it ends up being wrong, so that's good for us. Or kind of. Next one here, we got a red shield. This is Poland. Okay, we have to region guess Poland, guys. We should just click middle. I think we're going to click middle here, actually. What do we say? The humble guesses win games, bros. The humble guesses win games. Let's go for our woods hedge here. And, oh, is that actually going to be the win? I would have gone where he went, to be honest. And yeah, that's going to be the win. Okay. Guys, humble guesses win games. And we get to 1.5k there. That's going to be it for the episode, of course. I'm going to end things there. But what a successful episode. Massive win streak here. And we're up to 153rd in the world. Very base username here. And in Australia, that puts us 8th. But we are we're nipping at the heels of Tom, of Soviet Spy. Is that Soviet Spy? I think so. Of Norbert, Rappler. So more good things to come. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Thanks very much for watching all the way to the end. And I'll see you guys in a video very soon. Till next time, guys, and goodbye.